We have the Las Vegas Raiders going against the Carolina Panthers. This is your Week 3 2024 prediction and preview video. Hit subscribe if you're new. Also hit the like button. Let's start off with the home team, the Las Vegas Raiders. And they are coming off a great win last week as well. They defeated the Baltimore Ravens 26-23, and this was the game to see. This was about being tough and about playing great defense towards the end. And that's what the Las Vegas Raiders did. They were down this game. They made a comeback. Besides the one interception that Gardner Minshew threw, he was solid on the day. He was 30 of 38 for 276 passing yards, and he got sacked 5 times. That's the key emphasis in this game. They can't win in the trenches on the offensive side. Now, you're not going against a strong defensive line of the Carolina Panthers. They do have a pass rusher in Jadeveon Clowney, but they're missing Derrick Brown for the rest of the season. That's their best run stopper. That's their best pocket pusher. You have to go out there and run the football against the Carolina Panthers. Their secondary, they can go out there and they can cause a lot of big plays. They have one of the better corners in the NFL in J.C. Horn, but at the same time, the Las Vegas Raiders, they have weapons across the field. Davante Adams proved last week, he is still one of the best wide receivers in the game. 9 catches for 110 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Brock Bowers, the last 2 weeks, has looked like a generational tight end. 9 catches for 98 receiving yards. You also had Jacoby Myers go out there and do his thing as well. He had 4 catches for 30 yards. You have to go out there and run the football and protect Gardner Minshew better. He got sacked 5 times last week, and he got hit and beat up a lot against the Los Angeles Chargers. And part of the reason why they lost that Chargers game was because of how bad the offensive line was and because they could not stop the run after the first half. They have to go out there and they have to play better up front. Gardner Minshew can make the easy throws. He's not going to miss too many throws going deep down the field. But if you take better care of him inside the pocket, he will reward you because the playmakers around him with Brock Bowers and Davante Adams. Get Trey Tucker going in this game. You really want the Carolina Panthers to go out there and try to double team Davante Adams, because the weapons that you have. You have Michael Mayer as well, who is sitting in the background. Isn't getting much love right now because Brock Bowers is just that much of a beast. But he could come in, he could take pressure off of Gardner Minshew as well. So the key victory here is to get the football out quicker, for Luke Getsy to be more creative. Throw the football behind the line of scrimmage a couple of times to Trey Tucker, get him in that speed game going, and also take better care of Gardner Minshew. There is no reason to why any quarterback should be getting hit over 15 times in a game. That makes zero sense, especially with the weapons that they have. And you can run some quick game, but the Carolina Panthers right now, they're struggling to stop the run, and they're struggling against play action. Get that going against this specific defense. When I look at the defense of the Las Vegas Raiders, this is the perfect game for Max Crosby to go out there and have 2+ sacks, or even for Christian Wilkins. Last week, they did a very good job of keeping Lamar Jackson in check. Lamar Jackson went out there. He had 5 rushes for 45 rushing yards. That was it. That's a slow day for Lamar Jackson. But you have to go out there and continue to put pressure on a guy like Andy Dalton. You don't want Andy Dalton to go out there and get red hot. He is a veteran quarterback. He has seen many looks in the NFL. You're not going against a guy like Patrick Mahomes. You're not going against Joe Burrow. But do not go out there and treat him like he's some scrub. This is a man that's been sitting on the bench. This is his second year with the Carolina Panthers. He knows the weapons that he has. He knows how to use Deontay Johnson. He knows how to go out there and use Xavier Legette. This is a man that went out there and had a lot of successful seasons with the Cincinnati Bengals and was a decent starter for a season with the New Orleans Saints. So go out there and put the pressure on him. The offensive line has not played particularly well with the Carolina Panthers, but this can be a trap game for the Raiders. So go out there with that intensity that you went out with the last 2 games. I understand in week 1, they walked away with the L, but that's against the Chargers team, and your defense was tired after halftime. Do not allow the Carolina Panthers to tire out your defense, and do not let them get the run game going. Make Andy Dalton have to go out there and throw the football many times, and it gives your secondary more of a chance to go out there and do their thing as well. What is not working in their favor, Malcolm Kuntz is still on IR, and Tyree Wilson is questionable for this game. Those are good guys that can come in and can still continue to put pressure on the quarterback. Even though I like Max Crosby a lot, he's one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL, and Christian Wilkins the same for him. They're going to need guys to go out there and help them. They need more than just those 2 guys to put pressure on the opposing quarterback. I like John Jenkins a lot at the defensive tackle position, but he's more so of a run stopper. They need guys to go out there and help them out and put more pass rush on Andy Dalton. And I think that they can scheme that up with their defensive coordinator. Divine Diablo is questionable for this game. He's a very good linebacker. Robert Spillane is very good against the run as well. That's what you have to do. Stop the run and make Andy Dalton test your secondary. I would get physical with the corners. I will also look out for the screen game with Deontay Johnson. He is a cornerback. He is a wide receiver you can dump the ball down to. He can do a lot of moves after the catch. Your tackling has to be great in this game. You don't want to just give up a bunch of cheap yards. Lucky for the Las Vegas Raiders, you have Nate Hobbs, who's a very good cornerback. You have Jack Jones, very good in his own right, Trayvon Mooring as well. So the Raiders defense is very good, and this is one of the better defenses in the NFL. They should go out there, control the line of scrimmage, and they should feast on Andy Dalton the entire game with how inconsistent the Carolina Panthers offensive line has been from drive to drive. Now let's talk about the Carolina Panthers. Andy Dalton's in the lineup, guys. No more Bryce Young. Bryce Young, the last 2 weeks, has not looked good. And there's been a whole bunch of discourse about this. The Panthers do him dirty. At the end of the day, Bryce Young did not play well in the last 2 games. 0 passing touchdowns to 3 interceptions. The last time that we saw Andy Dalton play for the Carolina Panthers was last season against the Seattle Seahawks. And he looked solid. He got beat up a lot in the game, but he did look solid, and he hung inside the pocket. They have to take better care of the football and stretch the field. You have to give your wide receivers a chance going down the field. It was a lot of times where Adam Thielen was wide open. He was frustrated. Bryce Young didn't see him. Deontay Johnson has done little to nothing so far with this Panthers team, and he's their number 1 wide receiver in their depth chart. Go out there and get him going in the screen game and try to run the football as much as possible with Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard. Make the Raiders respect the pass game. You don't want them going out there and loading up the box, and next thing you know, now they can tee off on Andy Dalton. Get the football out quick, and Andy Dalton knows this. He knows how to go out there and use the weapons to the best of his ability. He's not a top-tier quarterback in the NFL, but he is solid. He's a solid bridge quarterback to look at. I expect for him to go out there and try to test out the secondary of the Las Vegas Raiders with the pieces that they have. Be on the lookout for Xavier Legette as well. Their leading receiver last week was Tommy Tremble. That should never be the case. When you have guys like Xavier Legette, Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen, and Jonathan Mingo, one of those wide receivers should be leading you in that front. But it starts with the offensive line up front, just like the Las Vegas Raiders. More so with the Carolina Panthers. Ickey has to be better at the tackle position. Taylor Moton, solid tackle to have. The interior of this offensive line with Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt, they're both making a lot of money. They have to go out there and keep Andy Dalton upright. Have to go out there and block Max Crosby, whether you have to double team him or chip block him, and be on the lookout for Christian Wilkins as well, because he can eat up double teams. Get the football out quick, run some quick game, run some play action, but it all starts with the offensive line. The offensive line can't protect Andy Dalton. It's not going to be much of a football game here. Let's just be real. As far as the defense for the Carolina Panthers, they need a lot of work. The last 2 weeks, his defense has not looked good. They have struggled against the run. You have to stop the run game. And this is not one of those situations to where you can play Gardner Minshew like he's some type of scrub. Gardner Minshew can go out there and he can beat you with his arm. He did it last year with the Indianapolis Colts, and he did it last week against the Baltimore Ravens. A very tough defense. I'm looking at a guy like Jadeveon Clowney. Can you go out there and can you give us some pass rush? Josie Jewell, can you come off the edge and walk away with a sack? You need to put some pressure on Gardner Minshew, because if you don't, you're going to be in a world of trouble. J.C. Horn did give up a receiving touchdown last week to Quentin Johnson, but at the same time, he had an interception and the offense was not able to cash in. The defense has to play better. They have to scheme up better pressure, and they also have to go out there and find an answer to go against Brock Bowers and Trey Tucker as well, because they've been giving up a lot of deep bomb plays. Why I'm so afraid for the Carolina Panthers in this game, they've given up a lot of deep shots this season, and they did that in week 1 against Rashid Shaheed. Trey Tucker has similar speed. He could take the top off the defense, and you just, next thing you know, he's going for 6 yards. He's going for 6 points in the red zone if you're not careful with that. So be on the lookout for him. Be on the lookout for Devontae Adams. Of course, I think J.C. Horn can hold his own for the majority of the game, but find an answer for that big tight end and Brock Bowers. Even though they're starting a brand new quarterback, I think the Carolina Panthers right now, they're outmatched, and the Raiders are at home. I'm taking the Las Vegas Raiders to win this game 27-10. I think they walk away with it. I think the Raiders get their run game going, and I think Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers both have a hell of a day. But let me know in the comment section, who do you have winning this game? The Carolina Panthers or the Las Vegas Raiders? New to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, we want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.